Hi there and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to the brand new Biffy Clyro song, Unknown Male 1. So over the past while, Biffy have been teasing that they've been recording new music because only about a year or two ago they released their album A Celebration of Endings, and they said that they were working on like a sister album, and today they finally announced it. So the album is called The Myth of the Happily Ever After. So Biffy tend to do this with their albums when they release kind of like two side by side. Usually one would be like a B-side album. They'll usually kind of have the opposite name of each other. So obviously A Celebration of Endings is celebrating the end of something, and this is like The Myth of Happily Ever After. So it's kind of like a good wordplay that they always do, and I always really enjoy it. So the album will be coming out in October 22nd. And yeah, so they released a song off today. I don't think this is like an official album release, if you know what I mean, in terms of like, you know, it'll go down as one of their big studio albums. I think this is more just like a side record. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm very interested in this because once again, if it is like their quote unquote like B-side album, I always love Biffy B-sides because they always tend to go a little bit off the beaten path a little bit. Like they've been doing B-sides since literally their first album. They're one of the only bands nowadays who will continuously do a B-side album, because even with Ellipsis they had Balance Not Symmetry, which was meant to be, was it like ... but then they worked some of them songs into that soundtrack for that film. So let's get into this because I'm very excited. So this is going to be Unknown Male 1.
You think if you call someone, the devil's gonna leave. He'll help you to understand. This devil never leaves. Step out to the unknown. I'll catch you on the way down. Aim high, look out below. I'm gonna try and right my wrongs.
Just from the get-go with that song, really nice intro and beautiful organ sound. You can really tell that like Simon's into the lyrics and stuff, because obviously they were talking about this album being part of like them writing during lockdown as well, so you can obviously tell it's to do with that. I was expecting the song just to fully open up, but the fact that it's kind of like subtly bringing in more layers, as you can tell with like the drums and the guitars, it's very, very nice. So I wonder, will the song have like a big crescendo, or if this will stay at just like a nice paced song, but we'll see.
Before I up and leave, land on the final chord. Step out to the unknown. I'll catch you on the way down. The unknown.
Yes.
I'll catch you on the way down. We're on our way together into the unknown.
Woohoo!
Innovation, celebration, adoration.
That's more like a Biffy. That's what I want.
Sell your baby teeth. Isn't it time that we made up our minds? This is insufferable. We can avoid all trouble. Bury your little lies. We're on our way together into the unknown. Deviation, good solution, self-abasement, water shore for only one more day. Isn't it time that we made our own? Step out to the unknown, gather into the unknown.
I don't think I could have been happier with that song, because I wasn't expecting it to go in the direction that it did. As I said, I was expecting some like, you know, kind of big crescendo to come in, something like, you know, just like really big guitars, kind of almost like big choir-esque vocals. But I wasn't expecting the kind of heavier side to come in, so that was very, very nice, because like the intro was great, really slow, really soft. Brought in like the sample drums, just a very spaced out guitar rhythms. And as soon as I kind of heard the dun dun dun, I was like, oh, okay, this is just going to lead into some big bombastic chorus. But no, it just went heavy and kind of groovy as well. Because Biffy are great for that. I think they're very good at making something heavy, but not just sticking to like constantly just like 4/4. Like they'll just throw in random time signatures. They're very, very good at doing that. So yeah, for it to go heavier, great, loved it. I always love seeing that from Biffy. It was one of the main reasons why I kind of fell in love with them. But once again, they're very good at going for something heavy, but then also having like quite a catchy chorus, but it not sounding too much of a left turn. So it still sounds like it flows really well without basically being like, oh yeah, we're just going to like stick this really catchy chorus in. And then even towards the end, I just assumed they were going to have that riff that came in, the dun 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 dun. I thought it was just going to continue that for the rest song, but even the fact that they changed that up was fantastic. I think that's when Biffy is at their best, when they don't follow just like the same formula every time. They'll always try and shake things up a little bit. I always love hearing the heavier side of Biffy, even with the last album with Cop Syrup. It was a fantastic ending track to the album, and kind of once again just shows off the kind of variety that Biffy can do. With Biffy, that obviously started out kind of like a lot more rock orientated, if you want to say that, like quite heavy, especially when you listen to certain stuff off like the first 3 albums and even into Puzzles as well. And then I always kind of thought that they would eventually go away from that, because when like Only Revolutions came out, they kind of lost that kind of really gritty heaviness, even though you could still hear some of that on the likes of That Golden Rule. But every album, they always seem to just bring out something just nice, gritty, and in your face, and this is definitely that. So couldn't be happier with that. So I'm really looking forward to the album. I'm not sure which way they're going to do this like album rollout. If I had to guess, they'll probably release like 2 other tracks off it before the actual release, because it's September now, so it's next month. Like a very short window. Because even I was looking at the track list of the album there, and there's a song called Holy Water on it, which I've actually already technically heard, because when there was the lockdown, Biffy did these like live streams every week where Simon would usually play a few acoustic tracks, take a few questions from like Twitter and Instagram and that, and he'd just play songs acoustically. And he actually said this is going to be a new song, and it was called Holy Water. So he's actually already played this acoustically, so it'll be interesting to see if it'll stay as an acoustic track or if it'll be fully fleshed out. If I had to guess, even if it is an acoustic track, they'll probably have a lot of accompanying instruments, maybe like the kind of organ they had in that, maybe some strings could really make it nice. So that was my reaction to the brand new Biffy Clyro song, Unknown Male 1. What did you think of it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Did you think that it should have stayed as more of a kind of calm, soothing, nice, peaceful song? Or did you like that it just decided to take a left turn and just go completely in your face with these heavy, bombastic riffs and drums? So yeah, if you want to do all that typical YouTube stuff, like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. I'll leave all my socials down below if you want to follow me on the likes of TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. That'd be absolutely fantastic. So till next time, see you soon. I did a lot of shite talking during that, but what is new?